Hello Year 6, I hope you're enjoying your ancient Greek topic. It's a very exciting topic. We are going to make a traditional Greek meal today. We are going to make moussaka. So one of your challenges for the next 3 weeks is to cook a Greek dish. That could be a pudding, that could be a breakfast, but we are going to cook a main meal together. I have never cooked this before, but I've been to Greece a few times and I love it. So hopefully it's going to be successful. You will need 2 aubergines and 3 potatoes. That's going to form our layers. We've then got for the sauce, lamb mince, which is traditional, but you could use any sort of mince, or if you'd like to make it vegan or vegetarian, you could use lentils instead. We've then got a tin of tomatoes, some tomato puree, and an onion and mushrooms. Then as our seasonings, we've got oregano, some cinnamon, some mint, and some parsley, but if you don't have those seasonings, don't worry. For the cheese sauce, we're going to need some butter, we're going to need 2 tablespoons of flour, so don't worry if you don't have too much, that's plain flour. Then some milk, it doesn't have to be oat milk, it can be any milk that you've got, and some Parmesan cheese and 1 egg. If you'd like to make it vegan, use margarine instead of the butter. You can keep the oat milk and then some nutritional yeast and just get rid of the egg, and then you can make it gluten-free by using gluten-free flour as well. So they are our ingredients. Your first job is to make sure that you've washed your hands, you've got everything ready, and we are going to prepare everything before we go and cook it. So you need to take your potatoes and your aubergines, and they need to be thinly sliced because they're going to form layers in the moussaka. So take the end off of your aubergines, and then you can finely slice them up. With this, you need to make sure that you either wash the aubergines before or after you do it. And with the potatoes, you need to peel them and then also slice them. So we have finely sliced our 2 aubergines and our 3 potatoes. You can sort of see the thickness, about 1/2 centimetre, and we are now ready to chop up our onions and mushrooms. So we want to dice our onion and mushroom. So we have diced up the onions and the mushrooms, and I've just torn up a bit of mint. At this stage, you could also cut up a couple of cloves of fresh garlic. That would taste good in it. Please make sure you're being really careful when you use your knife and when you're chopping. Make sure your fingers are out of the way. If you need to watch how to cut up an onion or prepare the vegetables, if you go and watch my fajita video, I do it in more detail there. This would also be a good time to chop up your parsley. You need about this much parsley, but I've run out of space. And just make sure you're being super safe. I've just got some oil in the frying pan, and we are just going to fry off all of our potatoes and aubergines. You don't have to worry about them being completely cooked through because they are going to cook in the oven later. I'm going to do this all in the same pan that I'm going to make the sauce in afterwards, so that I don't have to do as much washing up. So we're going to cook these, and then we are going to make the sauce afterwards. So cook these, put them to one side, and then make the sauce. I have actually decided to do this in 2 batches. So some are waiting over there and some are in here, just to make it a little bit quicker, or you might have a bigger pan to do it in. Once you've finished cooking the aubergines and the potatoes, you can put them back onto the plate to cool. Be really careful that you don't burn yourself when you're putting them back onto a plate. and then once they're cool, we will be able to layer up our moussaka later on. Next, into the pan I've added the onions. There's enough oil in this pan, but if you need to add a little bit more, that's fine. And then your mince and the seasoning. So I've got salt, pepper, mint, oregano and cinnamon. And then you're ready to let this cook. So you need to mix it all up, break the meat down and just let it cook. Just as it's starting to get brown, we're going to add the mushrooms in and mix it up and keep cooking. I'd say this takes about 7 to 10 minutes until the lamb is fully brown. So you're mixing it all up, making sure all of the meat is cooked. That's really important. And the vegetables are starting to cook as well. So after your lamb is cooked and your vegetables are softened, you can add in your tinned tomatoes. Because mine are plum tomatoes, I'm just going to need to break them up and mix them all in. And then remember the trick from last time, if you just get a little bit of water, swish it around like that and then you can add it in. So then your tin is ready for the recycling and you've got all of the tomatoes out of your tin. You're then going to add about 2 tablespoons, 1, of tomato puree and then make sure that's fully mixed in to give you a nice rich sauce. Once it's fully mixed in, we need to get rid of this moisture so our sauce reduces. So you are going to leave it until it is bubbling for about 15 minutes. So whilst this is simmering away, we can start making our cheese sauce. If that's too much and you just want to watch this sauce and keep mixing it, that's fine. But if you're able to, into another saucepan, we're going to put 50 grams of butter on a low heat. And we are just going to start melting that. Once the butter has melted, you want to take your 50 grams of flour and mix it into the butter. And this is called a roux, and it's going to be how your sauce gets thick. It's important that you do cook it out. So you just cook it for a couple of minutes, just so that your sauce doesn't taste too floury. You're also having to remember that you do need to keep mixing. You can see it starting to thicken. So once you've been cooking this for a couple of minutes, you can slowly add in the milk. The milk, it works best if the milk is warm, but I don't want to use another pan, so I'm just going to do it cold and just add it really, really slowly. So I've just added the first bit of milk, so it's easiest to do this with a whisk. And then as that first bit's all mixed in, you can then add some more milk. And then keep going until you have added 500 millilitres of milk. When all of your milk is mixed in and there are no lumps of flour or butter, you can change over to your wooden spoon and you need to keep mixing it. It is important that you need to keep mixing it until, so at the moment it's still runny, but as it gets thicker, it will just coat the back of the spoon, and that's when we know we're ready to add our cheese. So my sauce mixture is ready now. Hopefully you can see it's nice and thick. I've just added in my chopped parsley and I'm going to mix that all up and then just leave it to one side until my cheese sauce is ready and we are ready to layer up the moussaka. So this sauce is getting thick now. You don't want to have it so that it boils, so you don't want it to bubble because the milk will go funny. So I'm then ready to add my parmesan and mix it in. So it's about half of the full grated block. We'll give it lots of flavour. and then mix that in. And then before we add the egg, we need it to cool down. So once all the parmesan is mixed in, I'm going to turn the heat off and just let it cool down. If you are still with me, well done, you are amazing. I know there are so many different stages to this, lots of things to do quite quickly, but take your time, take as long as you need, and take some time now whilst your cheese sauce is cooling to just wipe down your surfaces and get yourself ready to get all your components ready to layer up your moussaka. So we've got the dish that you're going to layer up your moussaka in. We've got our meat sauce, we've got our potato and aubergine layers, we've got our cheese sauce, mine's still cooling down, and we've got our cheese on the top as well. Please make sure, because we've been quite busy, make sure that all your hobs are turned off, because we're not cooking anything at the moment. You can also turn on your oven to 180 degrees so it is preheating whilst you're doing this. Okay, I'm going to start whilst we're waiting for our cheese sauce to cool down. So we are going to start by taking about 1/3 of the meat mixture and just spreading it out across the bottom. So we've got about 1/3 of the meat mixture and we've just spread it out evenly across the bottom. Add a little bit more. You're then going to do a layer of potatoes and aubergines. It doesn't matter which order you do this in. So we've got a layer of potatoes, then a layer of aubergines. I'm so excited to eat this. With this as well, you can buy a cheese sauce rather than make it, and there also are tomato sauces you can buy as well. If you have made everything from scratch though, well done, that is amazing. Once you've done this, so you've got meat, potato, aubergine, you are going to do exactly the same thing again. So we've now got all of our layers. It goes meat, potato, aubergine, meat, potato, aubergine, and then a bit of meat on top. And we are ready to finish it off with our cheese sauce. You do need to make sure that your cheese sauce is cooled, otherwise you're going to end up with scrambled egg. So you crack your egg in and then whisk up your cheese sauce. You're then going to pour your cheese sauce over the top. This is going to be very difficult with one hand. So you pour it over the top and spread it out. You're then going to sprinkle the rest of the parmesan that you've grated on top. And it is ready to go in the oven for 20 minutes. If you have made anything that is Greek, please let me know, please send a picture. You might want to make a Greek salad, some pita breads, Greek yogurt, whatever you make, I'm sure it will be delicious and give you a little taste of Greece. So it has been cooking for about 20 minutes and I've just got it out of the oven. Please be very careful, use an oven glove and maybe leave it to rest for about 10 minutes before you serve it because it's going to be so hot. Mine is not very neatly served up, but hopefully you can see all the different layers and I've just got a little salad next to it as well. If you are to add red onion and feta, you've basically got yourself a Greek salad as well. So enjoy your moussaka. So well done for whatever Greek food you made. If you did make moussaka, that's fantastic. I know there are lots of steps. Please let me know how you get on or with whichever Greek food you choose. Well done and I will see you soon.